Alright, hi there guys. So, sorry the upload schedule's been kind of crazy lately. It's been insane trying to get my camera equipment to work. My phone's been acting up. It's just been bad. So I think we figured it out and uploads will be continuing as usual again. So today, guys, I want to talk to you about who I am and where I come from. Okay? So I was actually born in a place called Rochester, Minnesota at Mayo Clinic. And so my mom and dad at the time were missionaries, and we lived there for a year or so. Then we moved to Hutchinson, Minnesota, where we had my brother Ryan. Now, after Ryan, we moved to Peru, Illinois. And from Peru, we did a mission down to Jamaica. And Jamaica was awesome. We went down there and helped out at the school and gave them computers and that sort of stuff. Granted, I was 6, but you know, I still remember bits and pieces. The fun stuff that a 6-year-old gets to do. Well, after Peru, we moved to Iowa. And the first place we lived in Iowa was Battle Creek. Now, my dad kind of hit a rough patch in Battle Creek. He had a weight loss surgery and stuff just kind of fell down after that. So, after Battle Creek, my dad is sort of out of the picture. He moved out and moved away. So then we had to move to Odebolt because we were living in the parsonage in Battle Creek. Now, Odebolt is in a completely different school district. I'm about 14 at this point. No, I'm not. Am I? Yeah, I'd be about 14. I'd be in middle school. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade I spent at OA. And it was funny because my previous school district... Start over. So, then we moved to Battle Creek. Now, Battle Creek is where I spent the majority of my schooling at. Now, Battle Creek was a great place to grow up because it's a very small town. Everyone knows everyone. But people talk. And when people talk, there's a lot of cliques. Now, my dad was the pastor for this small town. And he was the center of the community. Like, everyone loved him, and he was a really important guy. But as soon as he had his weight loss surgery, things kind of took a turn for the worst. Replaced one vice for another, and he ended up having to move out and going to rehab, and it was just a messy deal. But so after Battle Creek, being that we were living in the parsonage and my dad was gone, we had to move to a town called Odebolt. Now, Odebolt is another small town. Blink and you miss it, middle of a cornfield. And it's really hard to describe what it was like being in Odebolt. Because in Odebolt, it was my middle school years. But after 1 year of being in Odebolt, just as Odebolt, Odebolt and my old Battle Creek school combined. So now all those people who disliked me because of my dad were now part of my school again. So in high school, I changed schools and I went to Denison. And Denison is where I truly found my home. I love Denison to death. It means the world to me. And Denison is where I graduated from high school. Denison is where I really found like I belong here. Because Denison is where music is important, the lesser known sports are important, and there's no real cliques. There's not your jocks and your nerds and your band geeks. Everyone hangs out with everyone, and I've never seen that before. That was really awesome. And oh god, I'm getting all fucking sentimental now. Well, after high school, 3 days after I graduated, I shipped off to basic training to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, where I was with a OSIT unit of 12 Bravo combat engineers and 12 Charlie bridge crew members, which we all thought was really weird that there was a group of like 5 of us who weren't engineers, but yet went to this one station unit training group of engineers. So at the end of basic, they just started their AIT, their trade school, learning how to do their job. At the end of basic, we all shipped off to a different place to do that. And if you're not in the military, I guess that's kind of hard to explain. Anyway, so then I went to the opposite side of Fort Leonard Wood and started my AIT to be an 88 Mike, a motor transportation operator, which is just really fancy words for I'm a truck driver. And the Army is the greatest choice I've ever made for myself. I love the Army so much. It taught me how to be an adult and how to accept things that you can't change. Now, when I came back, I was a piece of crap because I'm like, screw it, I just got done with basic and AIT. I'm just gonna be a lazy piece of crap for a while. I don't have to do anything. No one's gonna tell me I have to do anything. So I just laid around for a while, and I went and stayed in Ames, where I was planning on going to college. I stayed there with a guy who sort of had a rough history because in high school I dated this girl for 2 years, and he came in, he was my best friend, and kind of cheated on me with him, and it was bad. Anyway, we ended up being roommates for 4 or 5 months, and it was just ugly. So I moved back to Denison with some old friends and lived in this little 2-bedroom apartment with 3 people. I slept on the couch. It was a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. And one day we were over here playing games with the guy who owns the house. And he's like, oh, well, I have an extra bedroom. So I'm like, awesome. He's like, yeah, do you need a place to sleep that's not a couch? I'm like, yeah. And he offered me a room here. And since then, this has been where I live. And I love it. And oh god. Well, that is basically what's been going on in my life. And I know I'm really sappy and emotional right now. It's hard thinking about those things in the past, my dad, that sort of stuff. And I want to know down below in the comments section what you guys think, what you guys have experienced. And let me know if you enjoyed this video, because I didn't know what to do for today, and I thought you guys might like to know who I am, who it is you're watching. So, yeah, down below, just tell me if this was something you were interested in, or if I shouldn't do this again. Alright. Thanks, guys. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a great day.